Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind. There's a couple of things that I can stomach. There's certain things that I can live with, even though they're not ideal. It's like living with your family, for instance. You love them with all your heart, but, maybe it's not ideal. And maybe if you're 27 years old, you want to move out of mom and dad's house, right? You can accept the situation, but it's not your preferred situation. Well, in the world of politics, a lot of us are forced to make this compromise. If you're a conservative-minded individual and you live in deep blue California, you just have to accept the status quo around you because there's nothing you can do about it. If you have socialist policies and trash leaders leading the executive and legislative elements of your local government, it just kind of is what it is. You have to accept it and keep fighting the good conservative fight. And when it comes to Joe Biden, it's kind of the same thing, or at least, on paper it is. Is he incompetent? Absolutely. Is he just a typical Democrat stooge, a corporate Democrat liar, grifting elitist Americans and the working class? Abso-freaking-lutely. That's exactly what he is. He's a typical Democrat. That's the part that, you're able to stomach. Every now and then, a Democrat's going to get elected. It is what it is. You have to stomach it, deal with it, wait 4 to 8 years, and hopefully a conservative gets elected, right? That's kind of the idea. That's something that we can accept. Joe Biden's incompetence, Joe Biden's cognitive decline, Joe Biden's socialist tendencies, all no problem. But Joe Biden being a freak, being a creep, Joe Biden creeping on little girls, that's something I can never accept. And that is something that I find incredibly confusing. The fact that this happening, what I'm about to show you, and nobody even seems to care or bat an eye. This happens and you still have people on MSNBC telling you Joe Biden's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So those are two concepts that I cannot accept. A leader being this much of a creep, of a potential predator, being this weird and inappropriate, to me, I can't stomach it. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that, the latest Joe Biden creep moment, and then let's talk about the collapse of Joe Biden's political everything. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I think I made my point quite clear. Now let's add context to essentially what I was saying. Biden gets ripped anew for inappropriate behavior on viral video. President Joe Biden has a habit of going viral on social media for various behaviors caught on video, and it happened again this week at an event featuring U.S. military veterans, or military members rather. Just the perfect environment to be a complete, inexcusable, indefensible, weirdo old man predator. At a military movie screening in Norfolk, Virginia, on Monday, Biden is seen addressing the small crowd when he notices a young girl sitting nearby. And then take a look what happened.
Thank you. And I love your ears. I love them. They're really cool. What's your name?
Catherine.
Catherine, what a beautiful name. That's my mommy's name. Well, nice to see. How old are you, 17? 6.
He is a freak. The responses say it all. Biden is a freak and should never be near children. Creepy Joe has an ear fetish, another max cringe moment. An 80-year-old saying, "my mommy," right for the kid every single time. Guy at work would be fired immediately. Biden can do anything and the left is fine with it. Creepy. Look at Jill and the Secret Service guy. Those are some of the top responses to the video. And everybody is totally uncomfortable with this stuff. It's constant. There's huge compilations, which I can't play, by the way, because they can get you in trouble. The President of the United States, there's compilations of him doing stuff that is so incredibly inappropriate, weird, and predatorial. It's so bad. And actually, let's just take a little break here. I didn't just invent a word, right? Predatorial is a real word. Let's confirm that before I release this video and sound like a complete moron. It seems like it's a valid grammatical, let's call it manipulation of the word predatory. But this is clear predatory behavior, right? This is inappropriate stuff that nobody would be okay with if they were in the room seeing this stuff. And it's constant with this guy. It's like every single freaking time. Anytime he's in front of a crowd and there's a young girl, the guy loses focus on everything around him and hones in on that child and has to say the creepiest, weirdest Joe Biden can be a total incompetent. He could be the dumbest politician, the biggest socialist, a Keynesian economics who wants to print money and set us into inflation. All of that is policy. All of those are ideas and opinions. Democrats think that's the right way to go. They want to implement that in government. If they win the election, they've seized the day. I can't do anything about that. It just is what it is, right? This is something we should be doing about. This is something that, frankly, in my opinion, makes this guy unfit to run or unfit to to preside in the office. Now, is it too late for that? Absolutely. But we're headed into an election cycle, and it's time for people, especially Biden voters, to look at these kinds of clips, these interactions, and understand that this is not okay. This is freaking weird, man. I mean, seriously freaking weird. And there's an actual history of this and an explanation. I've covered this before in segments, and when I was featured on a Don't Walk, Run Productions video, I did a little segment on it. Back in the late 80s, I believe, I think that's the right date, Joe Biden suffered, I think, 2 brain aneurysms. And he had a slim shot of even surviving or regaining basic function after those surgeries. Joe Biden's the miracle that came out alive post-surgery. Most people don't recover from what Joe Biden had in the late 80s, but it came with side effects. People started to notice that after Joe Biden's surgery, all of a sudden he was acting weird, impulsive, grabbing people, sniffing people, acting extremely inappropriate with women colleagues and just women around him, and especially young children. It's a real thing. It's something that his Democrat colleagues have noticed for the past 3 decades. Joe Biden has been an absolute creep. I think there's only one way to describe it. Workplace sexual harassment has been on the menu if you're Joe Biden for 3 decades, and nobody seems to give a freaking crap. It's insane. Yeah, I'm getting frustrated because it's absolutely indefensible. It is freaking crazy. Not to mention Tara Reid. Don't say Tara Reid's name, right? No, let's say freaking Tara Reid's name. This guy is a predator. Normal people do not do this. I'm an adult man. I'm in my 30s. I have a social life. I've been in environments where other people are present with their children, whether it be young boys and young girls. What do? I say, hey, little guy or little girl, what's up? Nice to see you. And I ruffle their hair, maybe do a couple stupid little faces and have fun with the kids, and that's it. It's called normal adult behavior. I don't go to young kids and sniff them and say, ooh, nice ears. Who does that? Normal people don't behave like that. Then why does the President of the United States act like that? Why is that acceptable? The answer is very freaking simple if you have a basic moral compass. It's not. Joe Biden shouldn't be allowed within a mile of an elementary school, let alone the frickin' White House. Okay, anyways, I'm sure you guys understand the point. And yeah, I know I was yelling a little bit. I'll probably do some little post-audio edits on top of that to reduce the decibel level, but keep the raw emotion, because that's exactly what it is. It's raw, it's real, it's frustrating, and I'm just counting the frickin' days until this guy is gone, and I mean gone, to never show his ugly mug ever again in the political arena. Well, friends, it seems like that's happening. I mean, look at the polling data. Trump's leading across the board. We've got policy polls showing he's underwater across the board. Then we got these kinds of polls, which shows that a majority of the American electorate believe that Joe Biden participated in his son Hunter's business deals, and he's facing a major investigation and possible impeachment now when it comes to his little Bidenomics final inning Hail Mary. Well, that's not working. Bidenomics, nearly 2/3 of Americans are now living paycheck to paycheck. Nobody is crediting Bidenomics as a successful economic policy platform that has made their lives better. People understand the basic realities. Well, everyone except for Democrats, that is. Jamal Bowman here the other day defending Joe Biden said this.
People of color have been turned off for a while because of lack of comprehensive immigration reform, if you're talking about the Latino community, and no conversation at all about reparations if you're talking about the black community. But we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars every year on weapons and war, but we can't even have a conversation about reparations?
Joe Biden's losing black Americans because there's been no conversation about reparations, apparently. Absolutely stupid. Yeah, let's put all black people within a monolith as just wanting free stuff. That's all they're willing to vote for. That may be a factor of Joe Biden's support, because I'm sure that exists. But I think for the most part, Joe Biden is losing support within the black community and every other community because he's a monumental failure and Bidenomics isn't working, it's failing. And people's lives are getting worse, and it's pretty much as simple as that. But of course, that goes straight over the Democrat politician's head because they've got their ears blocked and their eyes closed to the basic sentiment of regular people. And of course, they've got their ears blocked and their eyes shut relating to any of Joe Biden's really interesting behavior. Meanwhile, all they do is point the finger at us and say, all these Trump supporters, all they do is ignore Donald Trump's horrible behavior. Like what? Promising to take down the deep state? Not exactly horrible. Sniffing kids, however, yeah, pretty frickin' bad. Okay, I promise I'm done. That's the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, friends, and I will see you on the next one.